Another thing that really gets my goat, I've got some rants in me now, and no, we've not removed the sticker from the top thing. I hope you can't see it. Can they see it on the lens? Can they see the sticker?
Yep.
Okay, well, ignore the sticker.
Actually, no. Sorry, no.
Okay. So, Douglas Murray, he's one of my favourite gays. He's a gay I can stand behind. Again, no homo. But he was invited to speak at some Israeli charity that raises money for former soldiers so that they can do something. Some nice... I read it. It's a mainstream Jewish charity that raises money for former soldiers wanting to better themselves. Well, not controversial, but of course, to the angry, screaming, pro-Hamas weirdos, they found out where it was. It was at the Apollo Theatre. And they left threats. They phoned up the theatre. They started screaming them about dead babies and genocide, which is what their favourite things is dead babies and genocide. And that's, funnily enough, what Hamas did on October the 7th, those two very things, against the Israelis. They found out it was at the Apollo Theatre. They intimidated the venue because, you know, when you've got young Muslim men phoning up your venue, and unfortunately, if you look at the news, when young Muslim men make a threat, unfortunately, sometimes they follow it through because they're very combustible people who are very insecure about their position and their religion and about God. I don't mind saying it. There's a reason why Jesus Christ was so sophisticated, and it's because, and to paraphrase Jordan Peterson, it's the worst possible thing happening to the nicest possible man. So if he can take it, if he can still forgive them, if he can still have love in his heart after what he suffered, then good for him. But there's something different about Islam. And again, to paraphrase Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, and maybe a little bit of Robert Spencer, but he's more of a 25 years ago kind of source. When your book is all about dominating the world, the physical world, not the spirit, it's a physical world, it's all about turning everyone into a Muslim, it's all about worshipping Muhammad, who was a war general. He killed a lot of people. He ordered the massacre of 2 Jewish tribes because he didn't like them. He also married a 6-year-old girl and consummated it with when she was 9. It might be even fair to say, and don't chop my head off, don't behead me, bro. Don't behead me. It might be fair to say that if your religion talks about material 3D physical world domination and the main good guy is actually a bit warlike and a bit ego-driven, and I'm not going to mention the whole underage girl thing, you may be following a political creed or maybe a cult, but religions shouldn't make you threaten theatres because they're going to host a gay man who wants to raise money for some injured Jewish soldiers who might want to become a carpenter or filmmaker. Or I don't look into the chart, but it's not like the way the Muslims, like, what's his name? There's some director of 5 Pillars, which is a Muslim organization. Don't behead me, bro. You'll prove my point if you come after me. Trust me. You'll prove my point. The 5 Pillars guy, he's like, right, and they don't mind this on Twitter. They feel this like momentum, this whole Gaza protest thing. And maybe it's the Saudi and the Iran money, not so much Saudi, but the Iranian money, Hezbollah money, Muslim extremist money pouring into London, pouring into Manchester. But this guy, the director of 5 Pillars, he was gloating. He might get a visit from the Metropolitan Police for this gloat, but he's like, ha ha ha, Douglas Murray, in it, bruv. You're going to have to be looking over your shoulder, yeah? Like wherever you go, yeah? You're going to be worried that we'll be watching you. And if a 12-year-old scrote on a council estate gives you that threat, you can laugh it off. But when organised young British Muslim men make that threat, you have to unfortunately take it very seriously. Look at the British author, and I've read a few of his books, Moore's Last Side, Midnight Children, Satanic Verses, there was another one I forget, but Salman Rushdie. The man is to words what a porn star is to sex? No. Salman Rushdie is to English literature what a disabled person is to... No, anyway, he's a good author. He's a good author. And he was under British armed protection for 40 years. And then the security came down a bit. The Iranians released a statement saying, okay, we're going to cancel the fatwa. A fatwa. And again, how mad is this? Talking about how Islam goes too far. Can you ever imagine a church, the Church of England, the Archbishop Justin Welby, issuing a death sentence against a young Muslim man for knocking over a crucifix in the graveyard? Or let's say a young Muslim British man wrote a book criticizing Jesus Christ and his followers. I want you to imagine a leader of, and it was a leader of the Shia Islam, Ayatollah Khomeini. I think the current one's Ayatollah Khamenei, but Khomeini in the 80s. Can you imagine a Christian or a Buddhist or even a Hindu or even a Sikh? Sab Gobind Hai, Sab Gobind Hai, Guru Nanak. The Sikhs have got it right. But again, Salman Rushdie, I'm talking about the 5 Pillars guy and the whole like Douglas Murray thing, but I'll get round to it. I like my little
ADHD ranting,
autism ranting. So Salman Rushdie was at some posh literary event in New York, and it was a premeditated attack. It was a premeditated attempt at first-degree murder. Second-degree murder is you murder someone but you didn't plan to do it. Spur of the moment, passionate murder. First-degree murder is a lot more serious. You planned it, you premeditated it, you pre-med. And you precogs from Minority Report. And so he bought a ticket, he dressed up nice, he hid the knife in his pocket, he waited for the right moment when Salman Rushdie was on stage. I'm sure he would have had the odd bodyguard there. He must have waited for the bodyguard to look the other way. He ran on stage, would not stop stabbing. There's some behaviors, some ideologies that mean that you don't stop stabbing because you're so sure. And can I ask you, what kind of God, otherworldly God, wants you to injure and hurt his fellow creations? There's a reason why Jesus took it like a man, all by himself, blamed no one, forgave the people, asked his Father to forgive them as they tortured him in front of his mother, in front of his best friends, in front of his disciples. Yet another religion asks you to So here we are in 2024. Last year, Salman Rushdie lost an eyeball, blind in one eye. He's like a 75-year-old man. He's like an elderly man. And for a book he wrote when he was in his 30s, the young Muslim guy fulfilled that death. And here's the thing. To call yourself a religion, you need to stop getting so upset about symbols, images, symbols. Remember the Danish cartoon stuff? They were going to kill people. Remember Charlie Hebdo? They machine gunned 11 cartoonists for daring to do a cartoon of the Prophet. How does this tie into the ASDA I'm about to talk about? But so Douglas Murray, he's trying to do, and here's the thing, like, this is Great Britain. Like, it's not normal for young Abrahamic men to threaten to kill or to intimidate and to gloat that a British gay man. Look, his sexuality is irrelevant. I'm adding it to add to the drama. Yeah? Making a young British gay man have to look over his shoulder, and not in a sexual way. But it's not funny. Looking back, hey, easy. Oh, that hurts. Sorry, it's important you have to joke. I'm probably going to get beheaded for this video anyway. So there I was, enjoying my morning coffee, and I was like, oh, an ASDA employee. I'm like, where's my glasses? I've got my Harry Potter glasses on because I need reading glasses.
Get the lefty glasses on.
Yeah, I'm offended. And so I was like, oh, ASDA employee tells off English girl for being inappropriately dressed. There I was thinking, a young English lady, a young English woman, had gone to the supermarket in her lingerie, in a bikini, with her baps hanging out, yeah? Turns out, she was perfectly modestly dressed. And to the international audience, Walmart in Britain is called ASDA. It used to be owned by Walmart. I think now it's owned by the Issa brothers. Funnily enough, they've fallen out because one of the Issa brothers has run away with a woman 30 years younger than him. And no man should ever have a dalliance with a woman who's 10, 20, 30 years younger. And anyway, where was I? So I was expecting this video to show. So the video starts with angry Muslim man, and he confirms that he's an Asda employee. He's wearing the Asda clothing, and he's basically saying, there's a young lady filming it, and he's like saying, oh, you're not dressed respectfully, like, I'm a man and I can't see that, and you're not respecting yourself, and you can't, there's a policy in Asda, you can't dress like that. The girl's filming him, and then she goes, how am I dressed? Yeah, she turns the camera on herself. Oh, there's Laura now. Woo! Turns the camera on herself, and I was expecting to see trailer park whore. All I saw was a normally dressed woman with a
Vest top, joggers,
and perfect
normal,
joggers.
Just
there was
normal.
no skin that you don't see every day. You know, a little bit of neck, a little bit of arm. There was no exposure. And here's where I am, man. They were intimidating speakers, getting theatre shut down. They're going through the street talking about, you don't get to choose how we resist. We're going to kick out the Israelis by any means necessary. They're glorifying terrorism on the street. They're going around scaring the fuck out of people. And I think, like that horrible man, Dili Hussein, someone leaked a video of him saying, oh, and they always throw in all these Arabic words to like make it hard that if you're non-Muslim to understand what he's talking about. But what I did get, he was saying, oh yeah, soon, yeah, we're going to get like enough Muslims, yeah, we can go for like military coup, yeah, and then like Britain becomes an Islamic country. And the old man, like, he's speaking to an older Muslim guy, he's like, maybe we should calm down a bit, Dilly, like, military coup, like, fucking hell, bro. Even the old elderly, anyway, look up the clip, Dili Hussein, he's one of these, like, online, aggressive, angry, wants to dominate the world for Islam, woo! Dili Hussein, military coup, Islamic takeover of Britain. When you've got literally millions of people, how many Islamic people are there in Britain or Europe? 1 million? Tens of millions across Europe? Maybe tens of millions. If they're not singing from the same hymn sheet and they don't want the same thing, which is an economically successful, abiding by strong laws so that we're all safe, our businesses are safe, our persons are safe, our daughters are safe. We need strong laws. We want freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of criticism. We all want to criticize things without having our heads chopped off. But unfortunately, there's this fifth column. That guy from 5 Pillars gloating that Douglas. No, you're the fucking fifth column, mate. If you don't, and unfortunately, like, there is an answer. People say, why don't they go and live in a Muslim country if they're so happy? According to Islam, there's 2 types of state. There's Dar al-Islam, the house of Islam, or there's Dar al-Harb, and I'm speaking Arabic, the house of war. So that should tell you everything you need to know. There's Islamic nations, and then there's countries of war. And what they mean is, it's not Islamic yet. Islam means submission. Islam means peace. But try enjoying that if you're not a Muslim. That's all I have to say, whilst my head is still attached to my neck. This is Charlie Beach.